So now we have our visible controller that we click and we can see. But notice how we move between the rows, its value doesn't get updated. Well, we wanted to update. So to update the child controller rows, you will call it a lot of times in the enter row event of your code. So let's do just that. Let's say over here, override on enter row, and we'll say cached.show order details .run orders.order ID. Cool. So here we're calling it in the onEnter row, and here we're calling it from the button or where it's clicked. And I'm separating the two with a good reason, and let me show you why. Because now when I run this code, it will park on the show order details. And if I'll go back to the parent, it will be okay. But as soon as I go to the next row, it will park on the show order details. And that is because it's executing the code in the onEnter row. Just to demonstrate that, let's add using system diagnostics and say here debug write line on start enter row and end enter row. And when we run it, okay, we'll be able to see in our debug Windows output is that we started the enter row and we park in the child controller. When we exit it, it will perform the end of the enter row and then park on the show orders. If we go to the next row, it will start enter row, park on the child controller, and only once we exit it, it will continue to our code. So we actually want the child controller to exit automatically if we're calling it from the enter row of our parent controller. So let's do just that. Let's say that the child controller, the show order details, will get another parameter here, which we'll call exit, exit immediately. Okay, and we'll define it here as the exit rule. We're going to say exit with the timing of before entering the row and with the condition of exit immediately. By defining this line, we are determined that whenever you enter a row, it will evaluate whether or not it should exit immediately. So let's do that. When I'm trying to build it, it tells me that I didn't send it these parameters, and it's correct. So we're going to say in the onEnter row, we're going to say exit immediately true, and in the run order details that is used both for the button and for the click, we're going to say false. Let's run this. And now we got desired behavior. Whenever we are entering the row, the controller gets presented and immediately exits. It immediately exits due to the exit command that we've defined. It immediately exits due to the exit rule that we've defined in the show order details. And if we click on it, it will follow this code path, the code path of our click, so it actually tells it not to exit, and that's how it will park on it, like this or like this. Now you'll see this pattern a lot in code that was migrated prior to Unipass or prior to using subforms. And while we're at the subject, a lot of times you will see some similar code. But let's start with, first of all, looking at the changes that we've done. So we've added a call for it in the onEnter row, so it will be called whenever we enter a row. And in the child controller, we've added the exit condition based on a parameter determining if it should exit immediately or not. And in the calling controller, we sent true or false there based on the code that we were coming from. On enter row, we wanted it to exit, and when we click the button or click the form, we didn't want it to exit, so we sent false over there.